Welcome to my session, Your New Life with Microsoft Viva. I think all of you heard about this new tool, this new topic. Microsoft announced it now in several events. And I got the question quite often, what is Microsoft Viva about? Is it really a new tool? Is there some new stuff there? And I have the typical consultant answer, it depends. So for me, Microsoft Viva, yes, there is a part where we are talking about new functions and maybe some kind of a new tool, but for me, it's also feeling. And that's why I was inspired to create this session and talk about your new life with Microsoft Viva. So Microsoft Viva is focusing on us as an employee. So in our daily business, we are doing so much for our customers. We are trying to find the best solutions. And what about us? What about our needs? What do we really need? And with Microsoft Viva, we are in the focus of everything. So that's what Microsoft Viva is about. And I will tell you what are the different components in Microsoft Viva. And first of all, I want to start with a quote of Satya. I really love this sentence. So when you change the world, you see the way you see the world, you change the world you see. So if we think about us and our needs and we are happier as an employee, then we can find better solutions for our customers as well. So we have a balance of the internal focus and the external focus in our companies. And Microsoft Viva is the product announced by Microsoft, which allows us to come in this come into this balance. So first, before I start, a few words to introduce myself. My name is Nicole. I'm an Office Apps and Services MVP, and I'm working as a managing consultant for Modern Workplace at Conet. That's a company located in Germany. So it's a little bit earlier as for some of you, I think. Yeah, and I love to explore new technologies. I want to check out how it's working, what we can do with new tools, for example, and how we can improve our modern workplace more and more, so it gets easier for us and we have more fun. And for me, the user's needs are in the focus. So I want to help other people. So I'm doing a lot of sessions out there. I'm also writing books, but I'm sorry, they're all in German. But for the English-speaking people, I'm also writing in my own blog, and I'm very active on Twitter and LinkedIn. So at the end of the session, you get some contact information if you want to stay in touch with me and have a conversation. Yeah, and that's all about me. I want to talk about Microsoft Viva, so let's go to the slide. Yeah, and Microsoft Viva, that's I don't talk about that it's a real new tool because Microsoft Viva, you will see it in Microsoft Teams. And I will focus on each of these four components later on. And you'll see Teams quite often. So it's divided into four parts: topics, insights, learning, and connections. And I think I don't tell too much if I say that nearly everything is already there. Some of them in preview, some of them are in GA. And you can try it. So let's start with topics. What about this? Topics, that's some kind of a central knowledge management, and it helps to connect experts. So I don't know if you had a similar experience as I, but I have a lot of customers who ask me to improve their knowledge management because they tell me I have so much knowledge into some documents and maybe in some news articles in SharePoint, and other people are writing emails, other people are writing chat messages in Teams. And I don't see my whole knowledge base. I don't have an aggregate component for this in my company. How can we get this knowledge base? And it should be very easily, and it should be very quick, because my employees don't have so much time, and it doesn't make fun to write long wiki articles and so on. Yeah, and then we are always talking about what can be the best solution. Can you do some videos with Microsoft Stream, or do you write really short articles, or is Yammer your knowledge management tool? Yeah, and with topics, we now have a new solution to do this. And when we come to this component, you will see that it's really, really cool what they are doing there. It's some kind of magic, but it's really, really cool. If we go to Insights, Insights is the component with, I think, the most focus on us as an employee. So it's a lot of reporting, and there are a lot of data which are collected from us. Yes, for sure. I know in Germany, for example, this will be a problem, because if you think about GDPR, for example, then collecting a lot of data can be a problem. But this data is collected to help us as an employee to have a sorry, to have a real work-life balance, to see if we are feeling good or if we are not feeling good. What about regular contact with our fellow employees? And our managers and the whole organization can get some aggregated reports. We will see this in a short video clip. And this is some other ways. So if an HR manager, for example, sees what's going on in the company, and he can do some stuff to help the employees, that's really good, because nowadays he doesn't have this information that there is a problem, for example, and with Insights he gets the information, and then he can act and change something. The next component, learning. I know that there are a lot of learning management systems out there, and I got the question a few weeks ago, because a customer wanted to have a learn management tool integrated into Microsoft Teams, and he already had checked a special tool, and this had a great integration to Microsoft Teams. And then I told him, please wait a little bit. If it's not such a important need for the next few weeks, so wait, because there's something coming up in Microsoft Teams itself, and then you can check out if this component is already okay for you, or if you are missing something. So you will have an integrated learning component, and you can start learning in your daily business. So you can reserve some time in your daily business, and then you will have some kind of a learning plan to work on. And last but not least, connections. it's not yeah, it's quite funny because if you know IBM, it's now called HCL, I know, but they have a tool which is called Connections. It's not the same here. The name is is the meaning, so it's all about connecting people. So we want to connect with our fellow um, employees. We want to connect with our managers, maybe in the whole hierarchy up. Yeah, and you want to stay in touch. I want to have the chance to get every information which is relevant to me in this company. I want to have a chat with another person, and I also want to have it mobile. So that's what connections about. And now I would say let's go into the different components a little bit more in detail. So Andre, as I started with topics, I will do this the same here now. So this is topics. You see Microsoft Teams in the background, and you see a zoomed in smartphone here. And what you really should see is we have this buzzword SOAR. That's a so-called topic. So what is this component doing? You may have heard about Project Cortex, and you may have heard about SharePoint syntax. That's the AI-based knowledge management. And maybe you know the wording of a topic card and about the information officer and so on. If you didn't hear this, I explain it now because it's all about, as I told, we have a lot of knowledge in our company. We have it in documents, in SharePoint news articles or other SharePoint elements. We have it in Teams chats, in emails, in whatever you can think about. And wouldn't it be great if there would be an AI-based component which extracts the relevant information? So if some words are repeating very often, then this AI-based component says, okay, I think this is a topic, and then it will be marked as such a topic, and it gets a so-called topic card. So a topic card, I would explain it as some kind of a SharePoint page. So you will have a page and the topic name is a title. Then you can add a description because here this component only says this is a topic. You are able, as an information officer, to edit this topic page or topic card. So you can add a description. And then you will get more information. So you get a list of all documents which contain this topic. You get a list of all people who have something with this topic. So maybe they wrote some documents or articles or messages where this topic is included. Or maybe they use this topic as a skill. So you also get this information. Yeah, and now you are on this page. You can navigate to the different locations where this topic is used, and you also get a list of or some kind of a graph of related topics. So you can navigate from one topic to the other. And this can be very helpful if you think about knowledge management. Think about, for example, Wikipedia. When you got one article and you read it and you said, okay, I've learned a lot of, but I need more information. And then you come to the section where you see, okay, this article can be interesting for us. This article mentions another word. Okay, I will have a look there. And now with topics in Microsoft Viva, we get the chance to have this in our daily business with Microsoft Teams and Co. So how is it working? In the background, you see Microsoft Teams opened as a desktop application, and you see this post with the title Weekly Update. And if you have a closer look, then you see that the topic SOAR is mentioned there. It's in the first sentence, and it's marked as a link. So if you hover over it, then you see here that that's the topic, and if you would click on this, you will get the so-called topic card. So the topic card that will pop up as you may be familiar with when you navigate over a person. So you get a business card of this person, and for topics, it's the topic card. So you get a first glimpse of what's this topic is about. Here you see the version if you're using it on a smartphone. So you see the title, you see the short description, and here are the people's and other suggested resources. So you can get a lot of information even via your smartphone. Yeah, and I said that the AI-based component suggests the topics. That's one part. The other part is that you can suggest topics also. So if you have some kind of a glossary in your company, or if you have some special wordings and you need them, for example, for your customers or whatever, then you can go to the central location and add these topics, and then the AI component knows, okay, I have to look for these words also, and then you will get the links at the other places for these topics also. And we only saw this here now in Microsoft Teams. You will also get this in your emails in Outlook. You will get this in SharePoint. And later on, I think this will be in Jammer also. So all the main components where you are looking for information will be using these topics. And for me, it makes my life a lot of easier. So I see immediately in this post there's a special topic. So it's not only the title with a weekly update. No, it's about this topic, and I know, okay, what's going on here. Maybe there's several topics in a post, and I don't need to read every word in a post to get an idea of what's going on. Connections, for me, it's very, very close to topics, because in the topics component, I want to get information very easily. In connections, I want to get information in another meaning. So I want to see what's going on in the company, and I want to stay in contact with my other colleagues. So how can I connect? Think about the situation we have at the moment. So maybe you are using Microsoft Teams nearly the whole day. So for me, it's the first application I start every morning, and it's the last application which is open when I finish my day. So I'm living for a long time, the whole day in Microsoft Teams. But we have also an intranet based on SharePoint. And what I have to do at the moment is I need to open my browser. I need to go to the SharePoint intranet and get my relevant information. For example, some HR news or sample news, what's going on in the company. And with connections, you can integrate your intranet into Microsoft Teams. So you see it here. This is the landing page. You see the navigation, and that's some gets you an idea that we are in an intranet. So home, who we are, what's happening, and so on. And here you have the top news. You see a company feed, and maybe there's a lot of more stuff which if you would scroll down, and you have here a sidebar. So I see it in a lot of intranets, but you see the local weather. And then you have a dashboard here with a lot of more stuff to come. And you see it here, you see the header bar, so we know that we are in Microsoft Teams. And you see here the well-known menu items, but you also see a new one, and that's the icon we already see here. So that's something special. Yeah, and what's it about? If you want to integrate your intranet or whatever SharePoint site you are thinking about into Microsoft Teams, then there's the way how you can create some kind of an app and integrate it as or add this menu item here. So you can decide which icon should be used, how should the menu item be named, and which SharePoint site should be show up here. You also can create here some kind of a dashboard. So you have some tiles here, and you can arrange them as you want to have this. But the main idea is if you know or if you are working with SharePoint for an intranet at the moment, then this component called connections is your chance to integrate your intranet into Microsoft Teams. So for the other users, it's really easy because maybe they are working a lot of in different teams, or they're using the chat function, and now they have a new menu item, and they see via the icon already that it's their intranet. Maybe you have a special logo for your intranet, and then they can click on this, and they are there and see what's going on. So no need anymore to open the browser and to have a look there. And it's also working on a smartphone. So if we are there, you see it here at the bottom. We have the activity, chat, Teams, but we also have this logo and this menu item here. And then you have different options here. So we see the dashboard, and the dashboard, that's the one we saw here on the right hand side in the Teams desktop. We have the feed, and the feed, that's what's going on here in the SharePoint news. And we may have some other resources. So you can prepare everything, and then we can stay in touch. What's going on in this component also is that if we have some conversations and we need an expert, we need to have some contact with another person, then you can add a question, and this question will show up in Yammer, because Yammer is the company network. And then you can ask for some help, and the other experts see what's going on, and then you will get the information as soon as possible. So fingers crossed. So what's Connections about? Connections is some kind of a remake or new wording to use SharePoint inside of Microsoft Teams, and it's using Yammer. a little bit more. So now let's go to learning. And learning, as I said, is some kind of a learning management tool. So what we see here is only scrolling down and then going up again and scrolling down for the next time. You see that here on the navigation bar, you see a new menu item, learning. And you see here, my learning, and you see manage. So we have two different parts, I would say. So one part is focused on me, so it's my learning. I may have a learning plan, or maybe I don't have one at the moment. What I always will have is a list of all the learning material which is available for me. And the learning material that can be very different. That can be some material from LinkedIn Learning, if you are using this in your company. This can come from MS Learn, and I really would recommend to use MS Learn because you get so many information there. You have modules and different learning paths to learn new stuff. You can also have some information or some learning material from third party third party providers, or maybe your company is providing own learning material. So that can also be for you as an employee. It doesn't matter which which provider or which sources really used, because it looks the same. You have a tile for the different learning modules. You see if it's quite popular, so there will be the like function already, and I can recommend modules to my fellow employees. So you have some kind of a recommendation process also there. Yeah, and if I don't have a learning plan, then I will scroll through the different modules. I will select the module which is relevant for me, and then I can see the informations that can be videos, that can be some documents, or some articles, maybe some links to different resources, and I can mark that I have learned a module so far. If I would have a learning plan, then there's the question, who creates the learning plan? And that's what's going on with Manage. So team managers will now be able to create learning plans. So they have to decide, okay, I have different roles in my team, or different consultant levels or whatever. And what should the special person with this role or know? And if there are some learning modules, you can create some kind of a package. That's the learning plan I was talking about. And you can also assign it to your employees. So say, okay, Nicole gets this learning plan. She needs to have some more experience in these 3 different topics. And then I get the information. Your manager assigned a new learning plan to you. Please do this. And as I'm going through the different modules, my manager sees that I'm working on this. So if I finish a module, he sees, okay, Nicole finished the first module, so everything is fine. So we have some way of communication in the learning sector. That's the learning module. At the moment, about this component we know the less, but I think they will show up a little bit more in the next weeks. So last but not least, insights. I was choosing to, or I choose to show you this component as the last one, because as I told you in the introduction, it's all about collecting data. And if you see now that we were in topics where we had this AI component, which is scanning our information to create these topics. We had the connections component, and connections is about that we integrate SharePoint and Yammer more into Microsoft Teams. We had the learning component, a complete new module integrated into Microsoft Teams, where we have some communication between the manager and the employees. And now we go a little bit further and we say the employee is in the focus. And before I start this video, I want to talk a little bit about what we see here in this preview picture. So what we see here is that we have a new menu item, and it's called Insights. That's no surprise. But we see here some kind of a dashboard. And if we have a look, so we see here, Happy Monday, let's make today count. So it knows that we have Monday. I get some kind of a greeting. And we also have different components here. So it's like a dashboard, I would say. So give your mind a break. Here, that's something which will show up later on. So Microsoft and the company Headspace have a partnership, and Headspace is known for meditation. So, and what Microsoft recognized during the past months is we are now sitting very, very often in the home office. We are not connected with our colleagues and our managers in a personal way as we were used to before March last year. And for me, for example, I'm sitting in one Teams meeting after the other, and I don't have the time to have a real break. I often have this situation in the evening that I don't get my mind really free, so I'm thinking about what's going on tomorrow, or maybe I'm working 1 hour longer than I would do this in the office. And here you get some kind of a reminder. Think about yourself. Your needs are relevant. And here you see, okay, take a break. Maybe you should also think about that you need some kind of a tradition how you start working in the morning. So Microsoft Insights, it's also about some kind of an emotional check-in. So here you have, how are you feeling? You can also do some kudos for your fellow employees, and you get other information. So for example, we are talking about focus time. As I said, I'm sitting in a lot of meetings, and they are back-to-back meetings. So Insights also tells you, take your time. You need focus time to work on some stuff, and you need breaks between meetings because you need to prepare one meeting and you need to take notes for the other meeting to know what were the results. Think about this. And you only get these reminders if Insights can take the data before. So that's some kind of a relationship we need here. Now I want to show you the video, so I hope that you will hear the sound, and then I will explain later on a little bit more what we could see also there.
Work is different now. We're commuting less, virtually meeting more. Separating work life and life can feel challenging. It's easy to forget that to thrive at work, we need to take care of ourselves. Microsoft Viva Insights offers new experiences to balance productivity and well-being. Personal insights help you stay at your best and most productive. Add structure to your remote workday by opting for a virtual commute, carving out time to have a productive start in the morning and mindfully disconnect in the evening. Protect time before your calendar fills up for focused work, coaching, and learning. Take regular mental breaks with Headspace, tapping into dedicated moments of mindfulness. Use emotional check-ins to tune into your day-to-day mindset and well-being. Strengthen team bonds with Stay Connected experiences that prompt you to praise collaborators, schedule one-on-ones, and follow up on pending commitments and outstanding tasks. Insights for managers and leaders offer windows into how work happens and the impact on employee well-being. Identify where teams may be isolated and take action to break down silos. Quickly discover opportunities to prevent burnout, promote coaching and development, and boost engagement. You and your team's well-being is important, especially in times of change. Taking care of one another allows you to thrive and your organization to build resilience. Experience how new well-being insights in Viva can help.
So I go back here to maybe this one. At the beginning we saw a lot of what I was talking about before, because that is the focus on the single employee. So for me, I'm working as a consultant, so I would look on my personal situation, and we saw the emotional check-in, we saw the meditation section, and so on. What I really love about this is also the reminder that you didn't meet some of your colleagues for a long time, which you would meet regularly, um, quite often. So, for example, last year I had a situation. I was talking to my manager, and I said to him, I'm not so happy in the home office. I didn't see a special colleague now for 5 months or so. And then my manager asked me, did you call this colleague? So I know you don't have a project together. There's no business reason at the moment. But if you are sorry that you don't see this colleague now for such a long time, and in the office you would see this person because he's sitting in a room close to yours. What you can you do? You can write him a chat message. You can call him. You could have a video chat. So your coffee talk could be via Microsoft Teams. And then, as my manager said this to me, I was thinking about, okay, I forgot that I have this option. And with Insights, I would have got a reminder. Okay, at the moment, you don't have any meetings with this special person, and I know, because Insights collects the data, I know that you would meet this person on a regular basis. So what do you think about that we schedule a meeting for you? So that's another component. Why I got to this section of the video is the other part. So you see in the navigation we have Stay Connected. That's the component I was talking about now. Then we have Protect Time. And Protect Time, that's the section where we can book our focus time, for example, and think about when we want to finish work on every day and so on. And then we have My Team and My Org. And that's for managers. So My Team, that's for the team managers. you get an aggregated view what's going on in your team. You don't see what's going on for special employee. But if your team is not so big, then you will get an idea what's going on, and you will see a lot of information, how the people are feeling, what they are doing, what's about the focus time, and so on. And you don't only get this data and these charts which we are seeing here, you also get some ideas, so some recommendations what you can do. Yeah, and for my org, it's the same, but that's more on the focus for the HR department. So I have a question for you. So what do you think about Microsoft Viva? Can this help you? What are you thinking about if it's something for your company? And if you answer on this question that Microsoft Viva is pretty cool, so for me that's my answer, then your next question may be, can I already use this? And I can tell you, yes, you can do this, because here's the roadmap. It's not really a roadmap because I want to tell you for these 4 components what's going on. So topics is generally available since February this year. There are more features to come. So for example, the inclusion of Yammer, and some more stuff for creation of topic cards and so on. There will be updates for, I would say nearly the whole year. So there are some features which are scheduled for July. Other features are scheduled for December this year. Have a look on the Microsoft roadmap to see what's going on there. Insights, it's there for managers and leaders since February. The personal well-being insights is now rolled on in April, so maybe it's already there for you in your tenant. But I think there will be a lot of more stuff to come. So for example, the headspace meditation component will show up later. Learning will come into public preview in this month. So I think we will have some months for this preview state, and then I don't know if there's a real date, but maybe we are lucky that it's also in this year that we come to GA. And connections is also there. There was a lot of posts, I think, on Twitter, for example, in the last weeks, that there's a script and some information how to create this app to include it into Microsoft Teams. So you're ready to start. And if you want to have some more information about Microsoft Viva, then go to the website, go to Microsoft Viva, and then you get a lot of more stuff about these different components. You get many videos, other pictures, use cases, and so on. So you get a lot of ideas what you can do there. And if you want to stay in touch with me, then you have my contact information here. So you find me on Twitter. That's the Twitter handle Nicole Enders, without a double E in the middle. So that's no mistake here. You also find me on LinkedIn, and I have my own blog. So please stay in touch with me. I always like to have some new conversations. Yeah, and thank you very much